few components from the original headlight to the new one. Start by removing the bulb sockets as shown, turn signal, side marker, and so forth. And then disconnect the ballast harness. And go ahead and release the ballast harness retainers as well. Then remove the access cover from the headlamp. Now you can see the igniter and other harnesses inside the headlamp assembly. Disconnect the wiring harness. Slide the gray connector free as shown here. Now we'll remove the 3 ballast retainer screws from the underside of the headlight using a Phillips head screwdriver. Now on the underside there will be one more ballast harness screw actually on the underside of the ballast itself. You may need to use a small screwdriver to disconnect the ballast harness from the ballast itself. Now you can remove the ballast. Work the wiring harness boot free and begin working the harness free of the headlight. Take note of the position of the harnesses. Now we'll begin feeding the harness out of the headlight assembly. Follow along as we feed it free. As we feed the harness out of the light, you'll come across this white connector here with a green and black wire. Press down to disconnect the harness. With the harness disconnected, it's now completely free. And there you have it. Now we need to grab the ballast igniter pad, twist it free and remove it from the headlamp. Feed its harness out as well. Now, release the HID bulb's retainer clip and remove the HID bulb from the assembly. With everything removed, you should have a spread of parts much like this. We have the ballast, the screws, the igniter pack and its harness, the bulb, and the harness itself and your new headlight. Remove all the protective seal stickers from your new headlight. Now reinstall the turn signal as shown. Now we'll need to remove the 4 HID cover screws. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to do so. The HID access cover screws removed, and now reinstall the HID bulb into the projector housing. After securing the bulb, reinstall the HID bulb retainer. Now we'll need our original wiring harness with the blue insulated section of green black wire. Feed the wiring harness into the new headlight as shown. Feed the wiring harness into the new headlight through the grommet hole as shown. After feeding the harness through, find that same white connector that we disconnected earlier. See this black guy here? Now connect the 2 of them. Feed the connected harness into the assembly. Now we can go ahead and reinstall the sealing grommet as shown here. Be sure that this is tight, otherwise condensation inside the headlight can't occur. Now reinstall the igniter ballast on the back side of the headlight. Feed the harness in first, and then go ahead and secure the box section on top of the bulb itself. With the harness fed into the light assembly, now we need to reinstall the cover panel. Line up the HID box cover panel, and then go ahead and reinstall the 4 Phillips head screws that secure it to the assembly. Now locate the side marker bulb socket as shown here. Now take the LED socket insert and connect it to the side marker bulb socket. Make sure to align the black wire on the harness with the black wire on the socket. If you reverse the polarity, you could blow fuses. Be sure to insert the side marker socket fully and twist it into place for a tight seal to prevent condensation problems in the future. We'll get to this relay box and the red and black harness leading out of it a little bit later. Before we continue, we'll need to remove the side access cover panel. Just pull it free. Continue feeding the harness into the headlight. This is why we needed to remove the cover panel. Now grab this harness connector and the blue section of the original wiring harness. Go ahead and connect the two black connectors to each other as shown here. Then just feed the remaining harness into the headlight assembly. Then reinstall the cover panel. Be sure to secure to ensure a tight seal, otherwise you could suffer from condensation issues later. In the box with your new headlight, you'll find a round rubber O-ring much like this one. Remove the original ballast O-ring and then install the new one in its place before installing the ballast. Connect the ballast itself and then reinstall the ballast harness retainer screw. Secure it using a Phillips head as shown here. And then we can reinstall the ballast itself onto the assembly. Seat the ballast itself to the housing and align the screw holes. Now reinstall the 3 Phillips head ballast retainer screws as shown here. Locate the relay box on the underside of the headlight and the black and red wiring harness leading from it. Connect the HID relay harness to the ballast itself as shown here. Then connect the relay harness to the high beams. And with that, we've finished transferring the wire. Now,